everybody, welcome to Review Time with Islip. I'm Islip, and today it is a fairly decent spring day, so I'm back to doing my reviews outside. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers Combiner Wars Combaticon Bruticus set. Although you don't buy it as a set, you buy it separately, but you know what I'm saying. So it's going to be a quickie. I'm not even going to show the transformations because we've seen pretty much all of the transformations already. This bot has been out for a while, etc. So let's start on with our review. Let's go ahead and we're going to get Onslaught out of the way. Onslaught out of the way. Here we have Onslaught. He is a thing, an armored car type thing. I think these are supposed to go up like that, or maybe they're supposed to stay like that. Nah, that would be for the feet. It'd be up like this. Either or, it's a poorly remolded I forgot what his name, Hotspot. Poorly remolded. This looks like crap. Honestly, the Power Core Combiners version of this was a better. It looks like they tried to ape it, but they just did not do a good job. Look, there's a huge gap there. Huge gap there. This is just a terrible. And what's with the lights? Why did they keep the lights? This probably would have looked a little bit more cohesive if they would have taken out the lights. Maybe added some extra panels that would have flipped over and covered, but no, it's just that. Okay, so not really much to say. It doesn't roll very well. The wheels, if you look, you can see that you cannot get this thing to be straight, to be level. It just isn't possible. In the back, you've got this big empty spot of nothing. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a very, 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 very horrible mode. Fortunately, the other two modes are pretty decent. So, yeah, let's do this and combine and take him to his next mode. And here he is in his robot mode. Now, out the box, this is how he basically comes. Well, with the guns to the side, but as you can see, his legs, they're not very good at the knees. And the reason they're not is because this isn't transformed correctly. What you have to do is the same thing that you did with Hotspot, is you have to fold the knees in. I don't know if you can see that, fold it so that the double knee is down some, and then push it in, and that gives you a much better knee as opposed to this. See, at least it holds it in that position. This just plops down. So again, want to fold the double knee. Let's make sure it's focused. Are you focused? Yeah, you are. Okay. And of course, it's the day that the garbage truck man comes to pick up stuff. So you're gonna hear some noises in the background. Just pay no heed. And now you've got an Onslaught that stands properly, but for some reason, this is one of the problems that I have with this figure. The ratchets in his legs are positioned so that you're either going to have him going backwards or leaning forwards, because it doesn't have a position where it's just straight up and down. Okay, are you in all the way? You're not in all the way. Hold on. Yeah. So we got that between the extra weight on the back and the fact that he is, again, let's see if I move his arms up the way. That didn't help any. I don't know if you can see, he's actually leaning with his pelvis sticking out. And you can kind of put one leg, like, he doesn't stand straight up. He does not stand straight up. He either leans back a bit, which I guess is why they put these big heels, which I don't really recall on Hotspot, but maybe it was there. And then my other one doesn't come out. Oh, there it goes. That other one just marred the plastic. Yay. See right there? Marred the plastic. Come on. Focus. Focus. There we go. So you can see right there, that just happened. So he stands up, okay, because of the heels, but again, it's not straight up and down. He is leaning, which because of those ratchets, and his knees, because when you tuck them in, they don't. Oh no, his legs are straight up and down. It's just his pelvis. So yeah, there's that issue. There's another issue. We'll talk about that later. But otherwise, though, in this mode, I think he is groovy. Aside from the leaning part, I think he looks like Onslaught. I would have liked this bluish gray to be more grayer-ish. I don't know, maybe a darker blue or gray, because it seems a little too light to me. I had Onslaught as a kid. I remember it being darker, but otherwise it's okay. It's got like lots of detail here, which it's pretty cool. There's details molded here, but they're not painted. That kind of sucks, but it's a Hasbro toy, kids. What do you expect? So rotating around, you got a lot of back kibble. You've got the combined mode head right there. It's really no way they could hide it. It's not like with the other figure this is based off, where it's split and it ended up being like a little bucket. Yeah, this just stands out. It doesn't help that this plastic is like a dark brown, and this plastic is, I'm not sure what it is. It's almost like it's a brown, but it's it's not as rich a brown as this is. I don't know how well that's coming out, honestly. But in any case, and then all of this is gray, which I wish it was silver. I'll end up taking care of that myself one day, but right now, it is what it is. It's still a pretty nice representation. It looks like him, and I'm happy. So, let's take him to the combined mode form. Or actually, no, we're going to move on to the next part. We'll save the combined mode. Well, no, combined mode form. So, that I'll just show. That's real easy. You're just going to transform the legs back to the way they were for vehicle mode. And then turn them sideways. Make sure you put the little heels up. Flip that part up because it'll look better. Take this back, and it's really, really tight. I think it feels tighter than the joint for Hotspot was, to be honest with you. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to take. We're going to take this bit here. We're going to take his head, actually. We'll take his head and tuck that away. This just rotates around like so. And you turn your bot backwards like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take these and rotate them up. Now, in the instructions, I believe they tell you to leave them like this and then just fold this over. You can do that. This is the transformation for the original figure this is based off of. Meaning Hotspot. You can fold it over like this, and it kind of fills out the body a little bit better. But what you're supposed to do is supposed to put the arms up like this to mimic the G1 Bruticus transformation, where he had these big high shoulders. And what this here is supposed to do, what it did on the original was it helped fill out the body a little bit. So from the front, it looked much better. But it doesn't do its job so well here. So we'll take this piece, flip this back, whoops, over like this. Put that back on. Over like this. And it clicks into place. You're going to take these bits. Well, actually, I'll show off the flip this over. This will flip. There's a little piece that slots in there, locks it into place, and then when you're ready to combine with the other figures, you'll just take these and flip them back, and they'll just be like that. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And there you have your combined body, and by itself, it looks really good. By itself, I think it looks very good. I don't like the head. I think the head is the wrong color. I think the head in the original toy was a gray color, not this dark black whatever color. I'll have to find out when I do the painting. But otherwise, I think this looks pretty good. The problem comes when you combine them with the other figures. That's where sort of an issue comes up. We'll take care of that when we get to it. Let's go to the next figure then. So the next figure we're going to do is we'll take care of the ones that we have already seen before. So here we go with, it's not a dump truck. It's actually a construction machine, an excavator. Huh. Anyway, so we've got this Harrier, and with all this extra bits, it looks ridiculous. It would have been nice to have two of these. This here is Blastoff. Now, I have no problem with Blastoff being a Harrier jet. The reason I don't is because originally, just before he was activated, he was actually a World War II propeller plane. So to me, it would make more sense for him to become a jet than to become a space shuttle. And it fits in with the all-together scheme of the Combaticons. They're all military fighting vehicles, and then we got this guy who turned into a space shuttle. So that didn't make any sense. The other reason I like this guy so much is because of his color. I mean, he is brown. He's showing up a little on my viewfinder. I have it's not showing the colors quite right, so I don't know how the colors are actually coming out. But a Harrier jet. The first time I saw a Harrier jet, it was sort of a greenish brown color. So this actually, for me, fits the color scheme actually fits better than the Aerial Bots versions. And also, I don't know if anybody remembers, I think his name was Bad Boy. The GoBot Bad Boy turned into a Harrier jet. Actually, this would make probably a nice repaint, just a new head. Maybe not even a repaint. I don't remember what color it was. But anyway, I like him a lot. I love this. This is probably my favorite Combaticon. I was going to say my favorite Combaticon figure. Certainly this mode is my favorite of all of them. For the colors, and of course it's a Harrier jet, and I used to love Harrier jets. Let's take him to his robot mode. And here we go with the robot mode, and there is absolutely nothing different from what you've already seen with the Harrier brothers. Fireflight or Firefly and Quickslinger, or whatever hell his name was supposed to be, I forgot now. Quicksilver, was it? Quickshot? Slingshot. There we go. Or whatever. As a matter of fact, this is the exact same mold. I was gonna complain about the head because it's just a reused head, but I do like the head better here. It looks so much better than it did on the other Aerial Bot. For some reason, the other Aerial Bot, it looked like he was bald in the middle, and here it looks like it's just a helmet. This is pretty nice. The bot mode is the same as we've seen before, so everything's the same. The joints are fairly tight, and yeah, he can become a foot, which is just the Harrier mode with a Harrier mode with the thing on the bottom, or an arm, which is the Harrier mode with the legs extended with the thing on the bottom. Let's move on to the next figure. We'll worry about combined mode in a moment. Let's go with Vortex. Here is Vortex, and he is honestly just a straight repaint of Alpha Bravo. That's it. Nothing remolded. The weapons are exactly the same. The only difference is the color scheme. Nothing was changed other than the color. A little disappointing, but and I'm not sure that this teal should be here. Not even sure that the yellow should be here because I don't remember it on the original figures. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I mean, these would have to have been colored anyway, but I don't know about this bright yellow. I mean, I guess they were thinking, let's break it up because in the, you know, but I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Not feeling so much love for this guy. And here we have Alpha Bravo in his, Vortex. Here we have Vortex in his robot mode. And again, just a straight repaint, which is why I said Alpha Bravo instead of Vortex. So, he looks interesting. Again, this green kind of, it just gives me sort of a G2 vibe, to be honest with you. Not a G2 Bruticus vibe, because that was a crazy set of colors. But I mean, just like this was a generic G2 bot, not Vortex. He's okay. He's, you know, Combiner Wars. And the Combiner Wars, the bots were pretty good. They were pretty good. I mean, they were definitely a lot better than the Fall of Cybertron Bruticus, which wow, just wow. So let's move on. Okay, next we're gonna go with Swindle, who turns into this armored thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be. People keep saying a Jeep, but I've seen Jeeps and none of them ever look like this. This to me looks almost like somebody took a Baja buggy and armored it up and then took the big wheels from the back and replaced them with regular wheels. I hated this, honestly. When I saw the pictures of this, I hated this, but having it in hand, it's actually quite interesting. I actually kind of like it, despite the fact that you can plainly see his hands right there. Yeah. But honestly, they should have made his hand swivel so you could turn it around, so at least it's not visible hands in the. I mean, it's right there. The hands are right there. You can tell they're hands. It's not like, you know. It's just it's a shame. But that aside, let's take this off. This is actually this figure actually is pretty cool. It comes with a gun that has a spot here where you can just slide it there, or if you want, you can put it here. If you want to put this over here, you can do that. It looks stupid, but okay. You can put it back here and then put this gun up here if you want to, which looks stupid. Well, that looks actually a lot better, but I think just having this here and then having that sort of facing up looks probably about the best. I like that. So he rolls pretty good. He is a reimagining of the Rook mold. And yeah, let's get Swindle transformed. And you've got your gun, which you can plug up here if you want to, or just plug it down here. You can take this and try to use it as a stand-in for that gun that he had on his arm. Doesn't do such a good job, but you can do that if you want to. Unfortunately, something stinks. There isn't anything else you can really do with it except put it to the side. So let's just put it to the side and just admire the bot mode. That looks pretty damn good. New head. We get a fairly new chest. The transformation is fairly what we had before, because that's great English. But everything looks so different. The molding, everything. This is heavily reworked. And honestly, it shows that somebody loved this figure enough that they were like, hey, we're going to go out of our way to make it stand out. And now I kind of want to get the Hound mold. Just because now that I've made peace with the, it's nice. It'll be nice to have it. But yeah, he looks great. He has great articulation everywhere. You can swing his arms backwards a little bit if you need to get an extra wind up for, I don't know, like a punch or something. Waist, hips, rotation at the upper thigh, bends at the knee, and the feet do rotate on a rocker. So you can get an A stance, or you can get a straight stance, or you can make them fall over because your fingers are starting to get a little numb. Because it is cold out here. But yeah, this part here should have been able, to rotate. But it doesn't. And that's a shame, because if you could rotate this, you could have this piece facing out and it doesn't look as much as a hand. I like this little Decepticon symbol here. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on. That looks really neat. And yeah, he is fairly neat. He, of course, will be a foot, which is blurry right now. He'll be a foot, which is basically just him transformed in his vehicle mode. You can also make him an arm, because this is very Scramble City-ish. And I'll show all that off later on. Right now, I just want to get him back into his vehicle mode, and I can't believe that I like the vehicle mode, because I've been bashing it since the pictures came out, because it didn't go away. Bug landed on me. I think it was trying to bite me since it first came out, and now I really like it. I really don't understand why. It's kind of like with when I had the deluxe movie Ironhide, and I was like, I was bashing it, and then I got it, and I was still kind of bashing it, but the more I played with it, the more I realized I really liked it. Why? I don't know. It's just one of those things that baffle me. I shouldn't have liked it, but I loved it. And it's the same thing with this mold. With this car. It's not anything in real life. And I'm not one of those, as far as I know, it's not anything in real life. If you've seen this in real life and you can find a picture of it, please send it to me, because I would love to see what it is and see its specs and capabilities. So, we're going to turn him into his foot mode, and then we'll deal with arm mode later on. Let's put that up there like this. Take these bits and put them to the back here. And I know I was saying I wasn't going to show, but you know what? Put this on here. Oh yeah, and flip this up. This is a rather unique figure. It's not like the other three that I showed where they were just the same mold. And here is his foot. And I like it. I do like this. Looks nice. It's chunky, but it's not overbearing. It's not... I love it. I love it. I do love it. So now we're going to move on to the last bloke in the set. Now, I don't have the Shockwave that you're supposed to combine with this, but that's okay. I don't need him. I have my Warbotron Shockwave, and believe it or not, I can actually get him to work. So here we have Brawl, and Brawl, I like Brawl. And not the most. He's got his issues. Like, one thing, he doesn't want to stay together. Turret doesn't move side to side. It's again, this is the Rook mold reimagined. You can tilt it up if you want to. You can just tilt this part up if you want to. He is cool. I like him. He is not, he's not quite the tank he used to be, but he doesn't look like somebody just made up some Cybertronian thing and dumped him on there. They could have easily just said, hey, we're going to take Rook and just color him a dark color and call him Brawl. They could have done that. And they didn't do that. They made an actual tank. Now, the colors don't seem quite right to me. I'm not sure what it is about the colors, but they don't seem quite right to me. And it's coming off a lot greener on screen than it is. It's sort of a brownish color. And on my screen, it looks green. We'll see how it comes out in post. But transformation is simple. We're going to pull this off. Take this peg. Oh, yeah, you can pull this off if you want to just have the straight tank mode without this before we go to transformation. You can do that, and it looks pretty good. I mean, back here it's a little hollow, but that's okay. You know, mostly you can have it from the side. You can, if you want, you can stick this on the sides here. You just can't roll the tank now, but you can do that if you want to. If you want to, you can take this piece off. This piece is actually comes separately. You can take it off. You can't stop. Well, trust me, you can take it off. It comes off. So you can see there's a peg right there. You can just stick that in here if you want to, or in Onslaught's hands as a weapon. You can do that. But let's foot mode. Let's do foot mode, because foot mode is basically you're gonna take this. I think. Wait. Let's bring him out. And yeah. You're going to take these pieces and flip them back. And I guess you have to leave them out for the arm mode. But for this mode, you just flip that back. You're going to take this and flip it up. I usually tilt this out. And then here we got foot mode. And foot mode looks good. Foot mode looks very good. Definitely looks sort of G1-ish. I mean, I think in the G1, this part faced forward. But, that's okay. I can deal with this. So, foot mode. We'll deal with arm mode later on. There you have Brawl in his robot mode. Come on, let's focus. There we go. And he's okay. I think his arms look a little weird. If you can put him down, and that helps, a little bit. Again, this is your toy, so, you know, there are some aesthetic choices. If you do that, though, then, you know, like, his shoulders are, actually, that looks a little bit better. His arms don't look so out of proportion. So he's okay. He is okie dokie. I like him. I don't love him. I think, honestly, the figure I end up loving the most, ironically, is the one I thought I was going to hate the most, and that is the Swindle mode, because I like both, you know, whatever. Then you can take the gun and you can put it on his arm here, or you can plug it. I like to undersling it because it looks, to me, it looks better underslung than overslung where you can see the fingers. And then again, like I said, you could take this out. Let's see if I can get it out. Can I get you out? Alrighty. So you can take the gun here and then you can put it in his hand like that. Let's fix this back up. Put it back like, you know, put it like that if you want to. You can put it in the hand, in the wrist if you want to put it as a wrist. You can do that. And he's okay. He's okay. His waist, I honestly do not like it. There's not too much you can do about that, to be honest with you. There's really not much you can do about that. That's just the way it is. You just have to deal with it. And unfortunately, since it doesn't lock into place, and it doesn't, it really does not. I've been trying to figure out how to lock it. It looks like it should lock, but it does not. Nope. Mine does not lock into place. So it doesn't lock. It is what it is. It's Combiner Wars. So I wonder what I gotta see if I can. If I don't know if the what do you call it? I don't think the car version is out yet. When it comes out, maybe they'll have fixed that problem so it doesn't, you know, like it stays pretty well. I mean, if you wiggle it a bit, it'll come apart. Sorry, wiggle it a bit, it'll come apart. But otherwise, it's okay. All right, so now it is time for the combine mode. Okay, and here we go. So let us start with this leg here. And now, here is a problem. And it seems to be I'm not the only one who has this problem. For whatever reason, they did not finish cutting the plastic out of this groove, so I can get my Onslaught in that far. As you can see, it's flush, and it's not quite where it's supposed to be. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Sorry about that. Camera stop. You can see the difference. This peg goes in more recessed than this does. And because of the pin holding this piece together, I can't pull it out to, once I open the screws up, I don't have a way to pull the pin out without destroying the figure. So the best I can do is move Swindle up so that it's a decent approximation. Let's see if he's still in the frame. Let's go ahead and turn it. So here we've got that part done. Then you take your arm, and it transforms exactly the same way. The arms transfer the exact same way as they did for the other figures that these figures were recolored from. Not even remolded, just recolored from. And then you just slide it in, close this up, and then slide this one in, and close that side up. Situate the arms a little bit better, and let's see if we can get them to stand straight up. And there you go, your Combiner Wars Bruticus. And he looks okay. He looks okay, but not amazing. Problems. The problems are that his arms are too long for the way his legs are currently configured. And so far I've not found a way to configure it where the legs look right. Now I'm sure with the add-on kits from the add-on hands and feet from Perfect Effect, that'll even things out better. I don't have them yet, and I didn't feel like using the black ones from that I got for the Fensor. So when I get that kit, I'll redo this review. Well, not the whole review. I'll review those and show those off. But yeah, so he's okay, but now his arms, to me, like on the camera from here, it looks like he is wide and bulky, but his arms to me are just way too long. Let's put his arms, straight, well, as straightish, downish as possible. You can see his arms are just way too long. His arms. So what I do sometimes is I will mistransform. Also, I want these bits to be up like this. These bits to me should be up closer because that's the way it is on the original G1, where, yeah, that looks a little bit better, but again, his arms are still just way too long. You can get around this by transforming the components back into their vehicle modes, which I'll do real quickly. Give me 1 second. So what I end up doing is I end up doing this transformation, which you lose the arm articulation as far as the elbow is concerned, and now your hands are humongous in comparison. So I'm tempted to go look for my my RID Ruination and just take the hands off of that and put it on here, because I think that would just work better, to be honest with you. But that looks more like a proper scale to me, and that's the same thing that happened with my Defensor. His arms were just too long for his legs, and I ended up doing this with the arm figures. So anyway, as I said, he was Scramble City, so let us show off the Scramble City capabilities. Alright, and there you go with the arm switch for the legs and the leg switch for the arms. And honestly, I'm not sure if I did Brawl right, to be honest with you, because I mean, he looks out of place with oh, forgot to put that back. There we go. But Brawl looks a little. He doesn't look as bulky at the shoulders as he needs to be to fit here. I don't know. Maybe it's just, it's probably just the angles here, but because this shoulder is more bulkier. But yeah, there you go. You've got your Scramble City going on, and he doesn't have his super gun like he did in the G1. He does. You can take these off to make the super gun, but then you lose the gun pack on the back. You can, if you want to, rearrange stuff so you have the gun sitting higher, if that's what you choose, and even facing forward. I know he's shot forward once or twice by bending over, but you can do that. And if you have the Orbitron gun kit, which is, honestly, that's pretty damn big, but you can actually get him to hold it. Although I've never tried getting him to hold it in this particular mode. It's always in with the arms, but with that guy at Blastoff as an arm. But let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Can I get you to hold him? Because I got you to hold him before with. Let's try the other hand because this one keeps popping apart. It's pissing me off. Okay. Come on. You can get him to hold it. He holds it better. For some reason, he holds it better with. Hold on one second. Let me just switch things back up again. Yeah. So for some reason, I can get this hand to hold it fairly. Look, shake it a bit, and it's a little wiggly, but it's not coming out. And this obviously this figure was not made for this set, which is why. Tipping you forward. But you can see he's holding it. He's holding him pretty good. Turn it sideways. See, is it in the shot? Yeah, you can see he's holding the figure pretty good. So you can. That's the only real plus about those gigantic freaking Hulk fists is that they will hold this figure. Which I think looks it looks better than the Hasbro version of the Shockwave Legends figure. So, yeah. And that be my review. This guy, he's not bad. He's not bad. He is unfortunately a lot of recycled parts. And, whoops. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to be moving it around, obviously that's not going to work too well. I wonder if there's... Trying to see, because he's got these posts on his, which is part of the reason why it's so hard to hold. He's got these posts sticking out. Anyway, he is. Oh, and you can see how you have to put the hand in order to hold the Shockwave if you have it. But I mean, it still looks pretty nice in the figure's hand. And this figure is not bad. It's actually pretty decent. And I'm glad that we got a Bruticus set. There are some issues. The colorations for some of the figures are a little what the hell. The vehicle mode for Onslaught is really naffed, and the fact that the ratchets don't allow for proper, like even if I don't know if you can notice this, but he's got one leg in front of the other because it's just the ratchets they're not doing their job properly. Now he's leaning backwards. Let's take the arms off for the moment so I can show you. Come on. I'll show you. He's either leaning backwards or leaning forwards because the ratchets, which this is the problem that the robot mode has, is it's just even more pronounced with Bruticus because Bruticus is bigger. Or you can get the, let's see, you got the one click, Now, now he's leaning forward. I mean, I guess I would rather him leaning forward because that would, you know, he's always going to be looking down on the other bots. But you know, the everything else is pretty okay. The head is on a, like, it feels like it's a ball. It moves around. It does what it needs to do. It's an okay figure. It could have just been so much more. But again, I'm glad to have it, and it definitely is way better than the Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. They tried, but this is just way better. If you want to get a set for yourself, I got the body at Target. I got Onslaught at Target, and I got the Limbots at Walmart. So they're out in retail, so you can go get them. Big Bad Toy Store has them in stock. TF Source has them in stock. So I'm iSlip. Thanks for watching. Ciao.